all just comes down to starting fast and then just building off of the start, because once you spot a team a few points, it's hard to come back and fight uphill the whole way. So I think we just got to start fast, just keep communicating and just play our ball.
It's not just the Steelers offense that wants to get off to a faster start on Sunday against the Falcons. TJ Watt there with the defense as well. We'll have a chance to hear from both coordinators coming up in just a bit. But first, let's start with Thursday's practice report for the Steelers. Still a lot of names on this list. Some bad news for Morgan Burnett. He was limited on Wednesday. Today he did not practice, so a step in the wrong direction. Vince Williams, his second day in the row, same for Darius Hayward-Bay of not practicing. Some new names, as you see, Marcus Gilbert with his knee injury from before. Ramon Foster, a coach's decision. But the good news, Mike Hilton, full participant for the second day in a row. A lot of the coach's decision guys you don't really need to worry about. And then Chris Boswell, who popped up on the injury report yesterday. He was full yesterday, full today, so hopefully not too much going on there with that left foot. But you do see Ben Roethlisberger on there. And joining me now live is Bob Labriola as we talk coordinator Thursday. And Labs, I know there's a lot going on in terms of Ben and AB. Everybody wants to know, where are the numbers, where's the production that we've seen from the previous seasons?
Yeah, me too.
I think you said something about a Gatorade cooler on Monday, right?
Yeah, I said something to the effect that, no, that was agree to disagree, wasn't it?
Well, the days are all running together.
Yeah, they are, when you're having this much fun. Yeah, that's something that needs to get straightened out, and, I believe it will. The thing that I believe that, fans think is that the way that gets fixed is by doing it over and over and over and over again. And there's some consternation. I even see it with asked and answered, Ben getting Wednesdays off, coach's decision. And, the thing is that, Ben's a 36-year-old man, and that means his right arm is 36 years old as well. There's only so many throws in an arm, and I think that trying to preserve that is not necessarily a bad way to go. Now, the thing about Ben and Antonio Brown being in sync, I don't necessarily believe that is something that is cured by doing it over and over and over again in practice, because what they may be seeing in practice might not be what they get in the game. And being in sync, I think, means more about Ben and Antonio Brown, or Ben and any of his receivers, seeing the same thing from the coverage and reacting to it almost simultaneously. And so, repping it in practice isn't necessarily the way to fix it. We'll just have to see how it works out.
All right. As you can imagine, offensive coordinator, Randy Fichtner was asked about Ben only practicing 2 days a week. Take a listen.
Yeah, because again, we've practiced in the off season. We've repped in training camp. And those are the valuable reps that carry you through a season. So when you tweak something, you change something, it's just a look back. Oh, remember when we did this? Remember when we did that? And you have tape to back it up. You get mental reps. You do all that type of thing. So in preparation, you can still attempt to do a big or a lot of game plan with limited amount of reps. And but I think it's no different than we've done with Ben in the past. His Wednesdays will be off. We used to do it with Hines, and we've done it with selected elders. But he's earned that, and it actually keeps him fresh. He came out today and really had a pretty good day.
We even give Labs Wednesdays off so that he's fresh too. All kidding aside, Randy Fichtner making the same point you just made. They've done it previously with other players as well, and they did it with Ben Roethlisberger last year, and I don't think anybody was complaining about Ben and AB in 2017.
Right, and a lot of that stuff, it can be handled in meetings. When we do this, if the defense shows us this instead, then this is how we want to react. And you cannot practice every contingency out on the field, because you're not only making Ben and Antonio Brown do it, you're making everyone else do it. It eats up too much time. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on. So again, a lot of that is recognition and simultaneous, the receiver and the quarterback seeing the same thing and reacting to it instantly.
All right, on Tuesday, we heard Coach Tomlin say he wants the defense to get into a rhythm. He said, we might not have noticed, but he saw some of that towards the latter part of the game against the Ravens. Today, defensive coordinator Keith Butler was asked specifically about the four-man rush.
I think as we're starting to come around here, I think our four-man rush has got to improve, and I think we will. They were good to us last year. They end up getting a bunch of sacks for us last year. I think we will. I like our matchups this week in terms of trying to get pressure on the quarterback. Yeah.
Is Ryan one of those guys that'll see the blitz coming?
Oh, he's been around, man. He's seen. You know, we played him 4 years ago. We blitzed a stew out of him back then. So you know, he's seen all the blitzes that probably we've run. So it's he's not going to be fooled by any of this stuff. So we got to do a good job of covering and a good job of pressuring.
Welcome back, everyone. Tunch Ilkin is on hand to prepare us for what we need to know about the Atlanta Falcons in this week's Sirius XM Scouting Report. Tunch.
Missy, what's going to be interesting about this football game is there are two desperate teams, and their offense is led by Matty Ryan, and Matt Ryan has a big-time arm. He can make all the throws. And, you know, when you watch him, he does a lot of the three-step drop. He's on rhythm and on time most of the time. But a lot of times what he'll do is on play-action passes, he'll boot off of it. That's when he throws the ball down the field. A lot of times you'll see him fake the outside run, the outside zone. He'll boot the opposite way, and when he sets his feet, that's when he goes down the field, and it's usually to Julio Jones. But one of the things that you notice about him, he is the leader out there, doesn't make many mistakes, moves around well in the pocket, and always seems to find the open man. And then when he launches the ball, man, he has the arm to get it where it needs to get. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is he's got a great core of receivers, maybe the best core of receivers that we are going to face all season long, led by Julio Jones. Julio is like a 6'2", 230-pound version of Antonio Brown. I mean, he is extremely fast. He's got great hands. He's very athletic, and he's very, very physical. It's not unusual to watch him run right over cornerbacks, and you would expect that at 6'2", 230. And he's the guy that's going to go downfield when Matty Ice is looking deep downfield. It's usually to number 11. And then if you look at the other receivers, they're pretty darn good as well. Mohamed Sanu is their number 2. He's their possession guy. He's big, he's tall, he's got really long arms. He makes a lot of what Mike Tomlin would say combat catches. He does a great job of protecting the ball with his body, putting it in between himself and the defender. He does a great job of getting open, and he is kind of a possession guy, but he also makes big plays. And the third guy is the rookie out of Alabama, another Alabama alum joining Julio Jones, and that is Calvin Ridley. He is very, very explosive. And in the red zone, guess who Matty Ryan looks for? It's Calvin Ridley. He's got a great first step. He's very, very fast. He is a vertical guy, and he does a great job for a rookie. He is playing very, very well, and he's having a great season so far. When you look at the running game, Devontae Freeman's been hurt, and so they've been using Tevin Coleman, who is their perimeter guy. What they love to do with him, they love to get to the outside. One of the things you'll notice is they run a lot of outside zone. It's a little different than your traditional outside zone. They run it more like we used to run it in our day. It's not so much running to the sidelines, but a little bit more take a position step and get upfield in a hurry. He is their speed guy. They love to get outside. They love to pitch it to him. They want to get him out in space and let him work against the linebackers. The other guy that they've been playing a lot is Ito Smith, and he is explosive. He breaks a lot of tackles. They've done a kind of, between the two of them, they've done a half-decent job of filling in for Devontae Freeman. On the defensive side of the ball, they've got a lot of injuries. Missy, 3 of their captains are hurt. Keon O'Neal who is their free safety, or strong safety. He's on IR. Ricardo Allen, their free safety, he's on IR. Deion Jones, their linebacker, he's on IR. All three of these guys were captains. But when you look at, and then also defensive tackle Grady Jarrett, the guy that sacked Tom Brady 3 times in the Super Bowl between Atlanta and New England, he's got a high ankle sprain. I don't think he is going to play, but they still have a couple of good outside guys, led by Tack McKinley. He is number 98. He hustles. He comes off the edge. He is very quick upfield. Does a nice job of bull rushing and finesse blocking. You'll see he and the other guy, Vic Beasley, those two guys play opposite one another, but sometimes they'll play right next to one another, and they do a great job of playing off one another. Both these guys are big play guys. They're capable of getting sacks. They're capable of disrupting, especially when they put them right next to each other. That's when they run their twists, and 9 times out of 10, one of them at least gets close enough to the quarterback to disrupt his throwing motion. And then on the back end, you've got their best cover guy is Desmond Trufant. He does a great job. He'll probably follow AB all around because on the opposite side, Robert Alford, I don't think can cover AB. So that's their defense. That's their offense. And one of the things that we're going to see, like I said, Missy, is 2 desperate football teams. It's going to be fun to watch.
All right, Tunch, thanks so much. Hopefully the Steelers come up on top. For our Steelers Nation Unite members, our keyword today is crucial, in honor of the Steelers' Crucial Catch game theme on Sunday for breast cancer and other cancers, and helping to raise money and help find a cure. So head to SteelersNationUnite.com and enter the keyword crucial to earn your extra yards for joining us today. That's going to do it for this edition of Steelers Live at 4 p.m. Thanks so much for joining us.